good fun. Days like these are great. You get the whole industry together, and to have, companies and corporations like Interbet and Cape Racing who are so generous with sort of time and energy into making a day like this possible is it's fantastic for everyone.
Race number 5 over the 2,400 meter trip, and this is a middle stakes. I think possibly the first middle stakes in KZN, well, that I've seen, that I've taken note of here. And these middle stakes generally are races that are run up in the Highveld, but I see that we are introducing here in KZN, and we'll have to look at the best weighted column. The fillies are generally the ones that do dominate, and they are well treated in here when it comes to the weights. But before Tavon and myself assess the race, we do have an interview for you, that of Byron Foster.
Yeah, he's got a lot of ability, but he's his own worst enemy. He seems to get up to whoever's in front of him, and he doesn't really go on with it. If he puts his mind to it, he's definitely a runner. Last time you can see he had a double handful with Rachel turning for home, but like I said, he just didn't want to go past our stablemates and the winner. Like I say, the trip has no problems, and he's probably in a good division, and he's in a good space. Yeah, look, I think he's versatile. It's just the way the program's been, and more races on the poly. So he's an old horse. You got to, you can't keep waiting and waiting. That's why he's had a few breaks in between his races. Look, he's sound and happy. He is a temperamental horse. He's not an easy horse to ride. You got to catch it right on him. Trip-wise, he's been it once, and he probably didn't really see it out that day. They did go very quick, so a question mark over the trip. But again, we're a bit stuck in the program with him and where to run him. So we're taking our chances, and if he can repeat his last run, he's definitely with some sort of chance.
Yeah, it's a competitive race over this 2,400 meter trip, and quite a few horses in with chances here. The betting has it Twice Golden at 9-2, then 5-1 about With Pleasure, Rockfall at 6-1, along with Sunday Island, and then it's 7-1 and better bar those runners. Now, when having a look at this race, Devon, there are obviously horses that have to pick up their feet if they are going to be competitive in this lineup. But then when you look at the best weighted column, Cape Town Beauty tops it, followed by Electric Surge, Sunday Island, Run to Denmark, and With Pleasure. Now, of those horses, quite a few of them have got chances. With Pleasure, he tries the trip for the very first time, but the way he ran on over 2-3, I don't think he's going to have an issue with the distance. Cape Town Beauty, another horse that tries the distance for the first time. She's been effective up to 2,000 meters. Whether she'll stay the 2-4, that's obviously got to be a question mark. Then we've got the likes of Run to Denmark, who Byron alluded to. He has gone over the distance before, but they possibly just went a bit too fast in that race. So whether he'll see out the trip, that's another question mark. Sunday Island, he's a horse that he's been effective up to 2-4, so no issues with the distance whatsoever. And then we have horse number 12, Electric Surge, another runner that's been the distance before and no issues at all. She's a runner into the place, and so it's got to be a question mark with quite a few of these horses going over the trip for the first time. And what's your take on the race?
Yeah, my top 3 selections are numbers 2, 6 and 9. I'm leaning towards number 2, Sunday Island. That's trading at around about 6-1 in the fixed odds betting market. If you look at the form there, and if you dig deep, it actually stands out here. I'm not saying it's by any means a good thing. It is an open betting race, and I will be including a few horses in the pick 6. But if you go back 4 runs when Warren Kennedy rode this horse, it beat Arumugam on that occasion. Prior to that, ran 2.75 lengths behind Rex Union. Prior to that, ran 6.5 lengths behind Follow the Star. I know it was well beaten on that occasion, but I think those are good enough form lines to warrant some serious respect here in race number 5, because it is tricky. So I'm expecting a bold showing from number 2, Sunday Island, with Rachel Finneker aboard, taking the 1.5 kgs off. She knows this horse extremely well. Then moving onto other runners, number 6, With Pleasure. Now, if you dig deep again on the form lines, this one ran in the South African Derby, that was in 2022. Finished 12.5 lengths behind Aragosta on that occasion. And I remember Dory Sham, it was trained by Dory Sham on that occasion. They really rated this horse as a 3-year-old. So he's definitely got ability. He's got a top rider aboard who's riding at the top of his game recently. So you have to have respect for number 6, With Pleasure, not without a chance at all. Then you have to throw in a horse like number 9, Twice Golden, that's trading at around about 4-1. Holding solid form there. The last run was very good behind Rockfall on that occasion. And if you look at that Rockfall form, number 4, Space News, is currently trading at around about 13-1. Now, the form doesn't jump out at you at first glance because this individual does put in one good run, one bad run. The form is a little bit in and out. Sereno Moodley is aboard and he's plus 2 kgs there, so this horse will be carrying 51. But if you take a look at that last run of this horse Space News, they went very, very slow. And then this horse Rockfall came from the tail end of the field and ran through on the inside running rail. If I'm not mistaken, Keegan DeMello was aboard on that occasion. Well, I stand to be corrected, and that horse won going away. So if this horse Space News can somehow get to the front, I think you can expect a bold showing from him, and he might make the trifectas and quartets pay.
I think it was Muzi on Rockfall that day. I think it was a very smart ride from Muzi going around the field, and that's what obviously won him the race. But when, as Devon mentioned, that Rockfall form line, I think that we're going to have a few form turnarounds here. The likes of Twice Golden and Tom Bombadil, both horses in with huge chances. Number 8, Tom Bombadil, I think he's a massive runner, 48.5 kgs on the back. Obviously, when you look at the weights of the race and how the weights are structured, he's possibly not well in compared to a few others, but with just 48.5, I think he's going to be a serious contender. He went over the 2-4 last time out, no issues because he ran on strongly, and I think he'll be very competitive here. But I have to agree with Devon in terms of our top selections. Number 2, Sunday Island, that's going to be the one for me as well. I'm hoping that Rachel Vinegar just manages to get the best out of this individual. She does look to be in for a big day on Sunday. Quite a few nice rides. He's drawn in gate number 2 with just 58.5 kgs on the bags, so he'll be right up there. As I mentioned, number 8, Tom Bombadil. Number 9, Twice Golden. He's a horse that you can never ignore from the mix. He's got 52 kgs on the back. He should turn the form around with Rockfall just based on that last run. He is 1.5 kgs better off. And he's a horse that loves Hollywoodbets Scottsville, especially this course and distance. With Pleasure, a horse that will be right there. Number 7, Papa C, one to never ignore. So it is quite a competitive race, but Devon and myself seem to be in agreement with the horse number 2, Sunday Island. He likes a bit of value in it when it comes to number 4, Space News, and I like a bit of value with number 8, Tom Bombadil.
The betting, the not so much anymore, is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.